Tonight, the breaking news in the killing of Charlie Kirk, the suspect under arrest. The new images tonight, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson now behind bars.
We got him.
The suspect expected to face state charges for allegedly shooting and killing Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk during his event at Utah Valley University. Tonight, the suspect's family playing a role in his arrest, according to authorities. They say his father recognizing his son from photos released by the FBI. And tonight here, authorities laying out the new timeline, when that suspect allegedly arrived on campus changing clothes, and how they say this unfolded. TMZ obtaining video before the shooting showing a man matching his description, appearing to walk with a limp. Law enforcement officials believe he was walking that way to hide that high-powered rifle. And the FBI revealing dramatic video tonight saying it shows the suspect moments after the shooting, jumping from a rooftop to make his escape. And tonight, what they say they found written on the bullets. And this evening here, the remarkable moment, the stark warning from the Republican governor of Utah for all Americans, calling social media a cancer, asking Americans to log off, touch grass, hug a family member, do good in your community, denouncing the violence against Republicans and Democrats. Our team standing by with new reporting right here tonight. Also on this Friday night, the alarming images playing out across the U.S., police responding to fake threats on American campuses, calls meant to scare, and now the false threat leading to a real shooting at the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland. Tonight, ICE operation in Chicago, an officer injured, dragged by a car trying to flee a traffic stop. The officer shooting and killing the driver. Tonight, President Trump suggesting Russian drones over Poland's airspace might have been a mistake by Russia. Tonight, Poland saying it was no mistake and NATO scrambling to beef up security. Martha Raddatz standing by and what's now being done. Back in the U.S. tonight, scary moments for a JetBlue flight preparing for takeoff for Boston. The plane's wing smashing through the windows of the airport, right into a restaurant. And tonight, you have to see this. The toddler now seen by millions. So many teams joining in, even the Super Bowl champs, because of what this little boy does every day. Who is our person of the week?
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. And we do begin tonight with the breaking news in the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Tonight, the suspect now under arrest, and authorities now say his family played a role in his surrender. Utah Governor Spencer Cox identifying the alleged shooter as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, taken into custody after the governor says he confessed to a family member. The investigation picking up speed after the FBI released new images of the suspect last night. Authorities say his father recognizing his son dressed in dark clothes and wearing sunglasses. The governor says the father worked to convince his son to turn himself in. Authorities also releasing dramatic video that they say shows the suspect making his escape moments after the shooting, jumping from a rooftop to the ground, then running away. The governor saying Tyler Robinson left messages on the bullet casings described as anti-fascist messages. And tonight, the new timeline here, how authorities say this all unfolded when the suspect arrived on campus and allegedly changed and made his way to that building. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leading us off tonight from Utah.
Tonight, the man authorities say assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk with a single shot in front of a crowd of thousands, now behind bars. They say 22-year-old Tyler Robinson turned himself in at the urging of his own father, who recognized him from the widely circulated photos and videos.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox saying Robinson had confessed to a family member.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
The governor saying a family member said Robinson had recently become more political and had brought up Kirk's visit during a family dinner.
Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
And after painstakingly piecing together video, investigators say they've reconstructed Robinson's path to the scene of the crime. They say he arrived on campus in his Dodge Challenger at 8:29 a.m. and at some point changed into the distinctive outfit seen in those photos. Black cap, sunglasses, and that black shirt emblazoned with an eagle and an American flag. TMZ obtaining this video of a man who matches that description, and he appears to be limping. And police say before the shooting, Robinson appears to walk with a stiff right leg, and that his ability to bend his right leg appears to be restricted. Law enforcement sources now tell us investigators believe Robinson was hiding his long gun under his clothing, which explains why he was walking that way. Police say more than 3 hours later at 11:50 a.m., cameras caught Robinson making his way up the building stairwell into the roof, where he crouched down and waited, watching Kirk rev up the crowd. And at 12:22, they say Robinson started to run, not limping anymore, laying down in a sniper position about 175 yards away from the stage. And just 1 minute later, as Kirk was answering a question about gun violence, police say the suspect fired.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
And as the crowd ducked in panic, cameras capturing this image of a shadowy figure on the roof. And police say this video shows Robinson scampering across the roof and dropping down to the ground and then jogging off. Did it seem like he had a firearm when he came down?
Yeah, I believe he did. The video is very grainy. It's from a distance. But yes, we absolutely believe he had the firearm when he jumped off that building.
And authorities say that suspect crossed the street from campus, just over there, walked up this drive into this wooded area, and somewhere around here, he stashed that rifle, wrapped in a dark towel, those cartridges still inside. The governor today saying there were messages inscribed on the bullet casings.
I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. I think that speaks for itself.
Authorities also alleging Robinson shared details about the shooting and messages to his roommate.
The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique.
And tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica.
Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all of his heart, and I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. Such a good man.
And David, tonight, Tyler Robinson is an inmate at the Utah County Jail. He has not yet been formally charged. We expect those charges to be filed on Tuesday, likely followed by federal charges. And officials tell us that if he is convicted, he will face the death penalty. David.
Matt Gutman leading us off here again tonight. Matt, thank you. And tonight, authorities now, of course, looking into Tyler Robinson's background, his social media posts, his experience with guns. He was from a family of hunters. And police tonight saying a family member describing Tyler Robinson's alleged recent frustration with politics and hate. He's now expected to face those state charges. And here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, a portrait emerging of Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah man who authorities say assassinated Charlie Kirk. Social media tells part of his story. His family included hunters, people very familiar and comfortable with guns. He comes from a middle-class Mormon family. Robin's mother is a social worker. His father recently ran a kitchen countertop business. Though he did not have military experience, sources tell ABC News they believe Robinson was proficient with firearms and had enough skill to make a long-distance shot from an elevated perch. And today the governor alleged that the suspect wanted to literally use bullets to send messages. Here's what the governor said was on the shell casings recovered from that single bolt action rifle believed to have been used in the attack.
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" catch!
Another shell casing referencing an Italian anti-fascist folk song. The engravings appear to point to a man consumed by internet culture. Robinson also used the encrypted messaging app Discord to communicate, a popular messaging tool used by young people that has been repeatedly tied to young men engaged in horrific acts of violence. Discord releasing a statement today acknowledging Robinson did have an account with their platform, since deleted, but say they found no evidence the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on their platform. Christian Schwierman was the custodian at Robinson's grade school and has known the Robinson family for over 16 years, describing the suspect as smart.
He's part of our neighborhood, you know. I saw him grow up. I would have never thought that.
Keaton Brixby has known Robinson since middle school.
I knew his family had firearms. I knew he shot all the time. There was pictures all over his family's Facebook of him with firearms. Everyone in St. George has them. It's a very conservative town.
David, as you heard, authorities say Tyler Robinson, described by family and friends as smart, came home more concerned about politics, that he told a family member Charlie Kirk was coming to campus. That family member describing Kirk as full of hate. David?
Pierre Thomas on the unfolding investigation tonight. Pierre, our thanks to you as well. And now to that remarkable moment today amid all of these developments. The stark warning from the Republican governor of Utah for all Americans. The governor calling social media, quote, a cancer, asking Americans to log off, touch grass, hug a family member, do good in your community, denouncing the violence against Republicans and Democrats. Here's Jon Karl on what he said.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox said today the killing of Charlie Kirk made him angry as he has ever been.
It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals.
But despite the anger, Governor Cox, a Republican, is pleading for calm, for dialing down the rage and the division, pointing out that political violence has targeted Democrats as well as Republicans, saying the shooting in his state can be a turning point for America.
We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse.
The governor's words stood in stark contrast to those, including the president, who have blamed the attack on the, quote, radical left.
I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here, and that person is now in custody.
And Cox took aim at all those hateful messages circulating on social media.
Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community.
Governor Cox called the killing of Charlie Kirk a watershed moment, marking a new chapter in American history. The question is whether it is the end of a dark chapter or the beginning of an even darker one. David?
But you're right to point it out, John, because a lot of people were talking about Governor Cox's words today. Jon Karl, our thanks to you. We turn now to the other news tonight and across the U.S. to the multiple hoaxes playing out in this country in the last 24 hours. Police responding to fake threats on several American campuses, calls meant to scare. But tonight there's been a horrible turn. The false threat leading to a real shooting at the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland. Here's Aaron Katursky.
With the country already on edge, fear and frustration as an epidemic of hoax security threats overwhelms American college campuses. And tonight, proof of how dangerous these can be. A fake threat leading to a real shooting at the U.S. Naval Academy.
I'm requesting units for an EMS task force on the U.S. Naval Academy for an active shooter event.
That turned out to be bogus on Thursday, but the academy was locked down over fears the purported shooter was posing as police. In the chaos, a midshipman shot on the shoulder after confronting a security officer he thought was a gunman. It came at the end of a day that saw more than a dozen hoaxes, many of them, police say, racially motivated, targeting historically black colleges and universities, along with other schools, including UMass Boston.
Cops came up the staircase and they kicked the door down. They had all tactical gear on and rifles, and they were like, you got to get out. There might be an active shooter.
Heavily armed officers swarming the campus and seen sweeping dormitories, room by room, guns drawn, one student exiting with her hands up. Authorities later determining there was no threat. That midshipman is out of the hospital tonight, David, and the reality is law enforcement authorities are really struggling to contain this crisis of swatting in the country, and recognizing the climate does not help. David?
No question about that, Aaron. Thank you. We move on now to the deadly ICE confrontation in a Chicago suburb. ICE officers attempting to arrest a suspect during a traffic stop. DHS tonight saying one of the officers was struck by the driver and dragged as he tried to flee the scene. Authorities say that officer, fearing for his life, shot and killed the suspect. That officer in the hospital tonight, recovering from serious injuries. Now to those Russian drones over Poland's airspace. Tonight, President Trump suggesting that the drones over Poland could have been a mistake by Russia. But tonight, Poland saying it was no mistake in what NATO is now doing to send a message to Vladimir Putin. Here's Martha Raddatz.
Overnight, President Trump suggesting Russia's drone incursion into Poland could have been a mistake, but Poland insists it was deliberate. And tonight, NATO ramping up air defenses from the Mediterranean to the Baltics. This comes just days after more than a dozen Russian attack drones violated Poland's airspace, NATO scrambling fighter jets to shoot them down.
What happened on Wednesday was not an isolated incident. Russia's recklessness in the air along our eastern flank is increasing in frequency.
France, the UK, and Germany, among several nations now sending additional assets to better defend NATO's eastern flank. And David, the American general in charge of NATO forces, says this situation transcends the borders of one nation. What affects one ally, he said, affects us all. David?
Martha Raddatz back with us here tonight. Martha, thank you. When we come back here, disturbing new details coming in tonight. There's been a beheading at a motel in Dallas, and what authorities have now revealed about it. Also, look at this, the alarming moments aboard a JetBlue flight preparing for takeoff for Boston. The plane pushing back from the gate, the wing smashing through the windows of the airport right into a restaurant. And take a look at this tonight, sweeping across the landscape where these images were captured in a moment here. Tonight, we're learning more about that horrific scene in Dallas, a beheading at a motel. Tonight, a motel worker facing murder charges, authorities say going after his manager. Police say the suspect became enraged during a conversation over a broken washing machine. Detectives say the suspect confronted the manager with a machete, killing her. According to police, the suspect is a Cuban immigrant with a violent criminal past. When we come back on this Friday night, that JetBlue plane pulling back from the gate, the wing smashing through the window of the airport where people were eating in a restaurant. And later here tonight, the toddler, I promise he will make your night. Who is our person of the week? To the index tonight, the JetBlue plane and its wing smashing into the airport at Richmond International Airport in Virginia, smashing the windows of a restaurant. JetBlue Flight 1282 pushing back from the gate. The wing hit 3 windows. That plane supposed to take off for Boston. No one was hurt. And the Dust Devil tonight, David Wilson spotted the Dust Devil kicking up corn stalks, dirt, debris in Brooksville, Mississippi. He caught the moment on camera with all of that corn, dubbing it tonight a cornado. We see what he did there. When we come back here tonight, the father and his toddler and what they do every morning. It's now been seen by millions. Even the Super Bowl champs love this kid. And you will too in a moment here. Stay tuned. Finally tonight here, the toddler nicknamed Coop on a Stoop, our person of the week.
Tonight, the father and son hoping it's the simple things that will unite communities. It has for them. Dad and his toddler Cooper.
Whoa!
Every morning in Costa Mesa, California, father and son Chris and Cooper O'Brien sharing the same very simple routine. That dad bringing 1.5-year-old Cooper outside to sit on their curb, to simply watch the cars go by together, hoping to start their day with a smile.
It's Sunday, the stoop is dry, the dog is watching.
Father and son and mom Haley started sending those daily videos to family and friends, and then sharing them online with their community. Well, tonight, it's a community of millions.
Whoa, crash landing.
People from all over the country now starting their own days, smiling right along with that father and son. Some have now nicknamed the boy Coop on a Stoop, sitting on that curb.
Checking the stoop.
Each day, waiting for the newest video. Will Coop sit on the stoop? Will he stand? A sort of good luck charm as they start their own days.
Oh, fake out.
So many now watching to see what Coop will do.
Is Coop gonna sit on the stoop? For sure.
The New England Patriots watching from the locker room.
I think he's going to sit on the stoop. It's going to be a great day.
The Philadelphia Eagles sitting just like Coop.
Checking the stoop.
Eagles cornerback and punt returner Cooper DeJean posting this video. Big Coop on the stoop. The Chicago Cubs mascot Clark getting in on it too at Wrigley Field.
Whoa.
Calling it Clark in the Park. And right here tonight.
How's it going, David?
Mom, Dad, and of course, Coop on the stoop.
It's meant a lot to us, just seeing the amount of joy and happiness he's spreading to people.
Tonight, their hope to bring people together, showing even the simplest things can unite.
Find those moments in your daily life with those people that you love and those that are around you and really cherish them.
And so we choose Coop and his parents and their simple message tonight. We sure needed that. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here on Monday. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.